Hey everybody, Floyd here. Welcome back to the channel. I'd like to thank those of you that watch, and I appreciate all that. I've been feeling like a grandpa today, so I rode my old grandpa cycle around the Pacific coast. It's probably as close as I'll get to a Goldwing yet, although I suspect the GL 1800 might be in the future. But one thing I do notice in the future coming up, I've got an interesting vehicle. Technically, you'd classify it as a motorcycle because it is a three-wheeler after all. But I tell you what, let's walk in my office and I'll show it to you and tell you all about it because I've already paid for it and it's on its way here. As you can see here, I've got on my start banner that I've got a Massimo cargo Max E-trike inbound. I realize that's not exactly a motorcycle that many people will get excited about or anything, and I'm not that super excited about it as a motorcycle. Let me give you a little background information. A couple of years ago, my wife and I bought a used golf cart. It was an older 36-volt model. We figured it would be useful picking up things around this palatial estate, doing yard work. We could drive it to church and maybe even sneak it down to go visit the grandkids and stuff. But it turns out the old golf cart that we paid cash for just wasn't really quite up to snuff. I never did get around to cutting the golf cart racks off the back and putting a dump bed on it. I put bigger tires on it and everything, and it was fine, but it just didn't make us happy, and it really wasn't suitable for the kind of work we wanted it to do. I had seen the three-wheeled cargo tricycles for sale at places on the internet,
like this one, and I decided that I would try one out. I hadn't really given any thought to buying one. Most of the places that I had seen them for sale were far off and far away and not companies that I trusted or felt comfortable doing business with. But lately, these things have been for sale at a number of outlets, including Amazon, Tractor Supply, and Lowe's. So I actually broke down and went to the Lowe's website last week and ordered one, and I expect it to be delivered next week. But before we talk about this, let's put in a little blurb for my online partner, WeBike. They've got November the 22nd through Friday, December the 5th. They've got a sale for hurricane handlebars and controls. I bought a set of hurricane bars for my Yamaha SR 500 project. They're top of the line product, and I highly recommend them. Remember, that's japan.webike.net. There will be a link below. Now let's get back to this thing. Like I said, as you can see here, it's basically the front end looks like a motorcycle, and the back end looks like an ancient Oriental cargo truck of like a key truck or a small battery powered vehicle. These things are quite common throughout the Orient. They're not that common here. So I figured, what the heck, I'd try one out. It was supposed to be 60 watts. Got some interesting specs to it. I bought this with my own money. Nobody's sponsoring anything. If it's good, I'll tell you. If it's not, I'll tell you. I'm kind of looking forward to getting it. Like I said, I think it would still be much more useful than the golf cart that I sold a couple of years ago, which I put the money back thinking that perhaps I would find a used side-by-side project or something of that nature. But instead, I've decided to give this a go since I can have it shipped to a local chain store. There's a view of it from the other side. It's pretty plain Jane steel wheels and stuff, but I'm going to attempt, since it is technically a motorcycle, because of having three wheels, to register this thing as a moped. I'm not going to try to register it as a motorcycle. the top speed on it is a claimed 19 miles an hour, which if that's true, that would be twice as fast as the old 36 volt golf cart that I sold. And I used to be, in a previous life, I was a forklift mechanic, among other things. So I know tricks for wringing a little extra performance out of these vehicles. But to start with, it would be a straight up review so you'd know what you were getting into when you buy one. Okay, here are the specs that they're talking about. If you're watching this on a small screen, you may not be able to read them. It says it's a 1,000 watt electric motor. The range is supposed to be 30 miles. 60 volts. Top speed is 19 miles an hour. Ground clearance is 9 inches. Occupant capacity is 2. Load capacity is 660 pounds. These are straight off of the manufacturer's website. The manufacturer in this case is indicated as Massimo. You've seen their four-wheelers and ATVs and side-by-sides at Lowe's and Tractor Supply and places like that, so they seem to be a fairly decent product. Here's the front end view of it. Like I said, I plan to give you a full review. I plan to drive it 30 miles to see if it makes it. I plan to use a GPS and verify that the top speed is actually 19 miles an hour. I plan to load 650 pounds on it, 660 pounds on it, and see if that kills the performance of it. See just how well or how long it will last. One Achilles heel of electric vehicles has always been when you load them down that it drastically cuts their speed and range. So I'll let you know about that. And the best part of all, you know you can trust me. I'm paying my own money for this. Nobody's sponsoring it. I just want to see the truth. Is it any good?
For a couple of grand, is it better than an old golf cart? We'll find out. I'll let you know. I expect it to be delivered next Tuesday or Wednesday. And when it gets here, I'll be sure to let you know. As always, I'd like to ask that if you would like to keep up with this and find out my unvarnished opinion on this thing, to please like this video and subscribe to the channel for further updates. And as always, keep riding, keep wrenching, and stay crazy.